I was in a cycle of doom when I was posting my YouTube videos to this channel, and I took a step back and realized where my mistakes were, what was wrong with my trading strategy, and I also figured out how to make money, okay? So if you look to the left of my screen right here, I only traded one contract today and I was able to make $50, okay? And I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I used, all right? So I bought a put contract today. Today is March 4th, 2025. And I got in at 8:32 a.m. and I sold at 9:26 a.m. So I was in this trade for about an hour because I did, jump into the trade in the right direction, but there was a little bit consolidation and hesitation for about the first 30 minutes, I'd say, of the market. But my strategy was on the charts, and so I jumped in where I jumped in and I just wrote it out, okay? So I bought a contract. I bought the 478 put contract for $3.5 for $89, and then I sold it for $138. That was about $49, okay? So $49, that's what I made, but I'm saying I made $50. Okay, so let me show you what I figured out about my strategy, okay? So I love the EMA strategy. The EMA strategy is awesome. It's something I figured out by sitting at these charts and, just watching and focus. And I realized that the EMAs are doing something. The EMAs are telling me a story. So I figured out that story. I follow that story. I follow along, and every single day, I watch, I wait, I execute, and I make money, okay? So I'm going to teach you exactly what I've been doing with these EMAs lately. So what I learned is, if the 200 EMA is sitting on top of the 48, the 13, and the 5 EMAs, we're in what you would consider a downtrend, okay? All the EMAs have to line up properly. So if we're in a downtrend, it has to be in this order: the 5, the 13, the 48, and the 200. Now, if we're in an uptrend, like you can see over here, if we're in an uptrend, then all of the EMAs have to be aligned to the upside, meaning you have to have the 200 on the bottom, then you have to have the 48 above the 200, and then you have to have the 13 and then the 5 EMAs, okay? Now, this is the 5-minute chart, and I've always traded on the 5-minute chart, in my past videos, but currently, today I made my first trade on the 1-minute chart, and I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared. I wasn't, running from the 1-minute chart. I knew how to watch it, wait, execute, and make my money. And I figured this strategy out yesterday because I've always been, I still stuck to the 5-minute chart all of this time I've been gone. And I realized the 5-minute chart is moving a little bit too slow for me, okay? It's just moving too slow, and I felt like I was missing out, on my moves, and I wasn't sure how to actually trade the 1-minute chart, but I figured it out, okay? I have figured it out. And that's what I'm here to share with you all today. So in today's market on QQQ, we have the 200, the 48 aligned properly, doing pre-market. And also we have the 5 and 13 kind of crossing over each other, right before market open. And then it began to come down. And this is the 5-minute chart. So I do still assess on the 5-minute chart, my overall. And I also use the other time frames as well. I use the 4-hour chart. I use the 1-hour chart. I use the 15-minute chart, I use a 5-minute chart, and I use a 1-minute chart. All of these things have valuable information in them, so I use them to assess the true direction that I should be trading in, okay? So when I saw this 5 and 13 crossing, back to the downside, sitting under the 248 EMA, I said, okay, this is still in a downtrend. We're in an ultimate downtrend. You see all that dropping motion going on right there, and I said, okay, my strategy says if I get a 513 cross to the downside sitting under the 248 EMA, I'm going with the trend to the downside. And so when I saw that, I went ahead and dropped to the 1-minute chart, because on every time frame, you're going to notice that the EMAs properly aligned. They can properly align on any time frame. So it just depends on what time frame you actually want to trade. So once I saw that we had proper alignment on the 5-minute chart, I dropped down to the 1-minute chart, and this is how I traded on the 1-minute chart today. So let me fix my screen so you all can see what I've got going on here. All right, so I'm just dragging this down so that I can get the full scope and the full view of what's going on the 1 minute chart, because in the 1 minute chart there is a lot of information, and believe me, if you're a beginner trader, it will scare the pants off of you, okay? Because I ran from this 1 minute chart for an entire 2 years of trading options, okay? I didn't want anything to do with it, but the more I assessed it and, put it into my daily, routine of trying to strategize, the more comfortable I got with it. So never mind actually, let me turn off all of my support and resistance levels, because I don't want to confuse anyone here. Okay, so here is the 1 minute chart right here. So like I said, I assessed on the 5 minute chart, I saw the breakdown, and then I went to the 1 minute chart and I saw that, there was, a proper breakdown. You had the 200, you had the 48, you had the 13, and you had the 5. So I jumped in right here to write it down to the downside. The only thing is, it popped back up on me. But I didn't, get out of the trade, because I saw that, even though this is pushing up, it's still sitting under the 200 EMA on the 1 minute chart. So I just stayed in the trade. I rode out this consolidation. I saw where I was getting, these lower highs going right here in this direction. I was getting these lower highs. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I just stayed in the trade and I said, okay, this is definitely, showing up into a downtrend on pretty much every single level, right? All right, so let me clear this. So I stayed in the trade for the downside. Ultimately, it broke down, and it broke down. I think I was initially up about, I want to say, when it was going back up, of course, I was down like maybe $30. That didn't scare me, though. That didn't scare me out of my trade. So I knew that, it was a downward pressure on the chart. So I just stayed in to the downside. And so my strategy says, hey, if these, EMAs can't properly align going to the upside, just stay in the trade. And that's what I did. So once it broke down, I just rode the wave all the way down as much as I could. But I knew once it got, to a good level right here, that it was bound to bounce back up. And so once it got about right here, I jumped out of the trade for, a profit of $49, which you can see over here on this side, okay? So I profited $49 going in this direction. I was in the trade for about an hour. And, it all worked out. And yesterday I did lose $50, only because I got into my trade too soon, and ultimately, if I hadn't got into my trade too soon the previous day, I would have made so much money. I missed out on so much money because I didn't have any more money to trade. But my strategy played out. I just jumped in too soon. And then once that retracement happened, I got scared. I sold for a $50 loss. I got on my trade. The EMAs never started to align back to the upside, and it came crashing down like I expected it to. And I just missed out on so much money yesterday. And so today I came back. I had forgotten that trade long before I got back on the charts for today. But I told myself, I'm just going to go with what the chart is saying. I'm going to do what the chart is telling me to do. And that's all I can do, win or lose, right? So that's what I did. I made my $50 back. I wasn't trying to make the $50 back. I was just trying to go with, my technical analysis right here on the chart. And it played out very well for me. I made $50, had a wonderful day. And ultimately, I'm proud of myself because I traded on the 1 minute chart. Do you know how awesome it is to not be afraid of the 1 minute chart? The 1 minute chart is kind of scary, okay? So as long as I have proper alignment, I realize of the EMAs, on the 5 minute, I'm only on the, the different time frames, it's okay for me to jump into my trade, on the 1 minute chart. So I just have to be aware of what's going on around and everything like that. And, everything played out perfectly fine. So I just wanted to come on here and share this good news. I can honestly say I feel like I'm finally a profitable trader. There was a time when I'd come on here, I'd show you the money I was making, I'd show you the money I was losing. And eventually I got to a point where I was breaking even. And I heard, watching, other, successful traders, they said once you start to break even and not lose any money, you're winning, okay? And so it got to that point in my trading career, I wasn't losing any money. I wasn't making any money either, but I wasn't losing. And last year in 2024, I only lost $150 prior years, I lost thousands of dollars, okay? So that's how I knew that I was getting closer and closer and closer to understanding what's going on these charts. Um, so yeah, I did what I needed to do. I've assessed. I feel like I finally become a profitable trader. No longer am I just breaking even. I got to the point where I was finally making like $5, $10, $20. And now I'm trading one contract. I'm trading one contract and I'm making 100% some days. And Swaggy said, hey, if you can get to the point where you're making good money trading the bare minimum, the one contract, you're on your way to becoming a successful trader. And so I'm smiling as I'm saying this because I have fulfilled that task. I fulfilled that task on my trading journey. And so I know I'm going to begin to make even more money. I'm comfortable. I'm at a place where I'm so comfortable making money trading one contract because I know when it's time to take a trade. I know when it's not time to take a trade. And, you know, everything has just been working out so wonderfully for me on these charts. So thank you all for, you know, hanging in there with me, my 50 subscribers. I appreciate my 50 subscribers. You all are the truest, you know, most dedicated subscribers I've ever seen, because you must have known I was onto something and you must have been like, okay, if she just keeps going, she's going to get this. And I'm proud to say I'm back here today to say that I figured this out. I figured this out. I don't have a lot of money to trade, but the money that I do trade, I trade it responsibly. I'm trading about $100 a day and making 50 to 100% on that. And so, you know, by the end of the week, I have money to go and do, you know, little things that I need to do that I didn't have the money for. And so that's the great thing about trading. Trading is helping me in my daily life. It's helping me to have money that I can't necessarily go outside of the home and make. And it's really, really helping me in a great way. And I'm just so thankful I didn't quit on my journey. If I could tell you traders anything, if you're serious about this, keep going, keep pushing. Eventually, the information that you've absorbed along your way is going to click. It's going to click in a way that's going to make you say, hey, why didn't I figure this out sooner? You know, but it takes a lot of hours. It hasn't been an easy road. Sometimes I felt like I was in a cycle of doom trying to figure this out. Kept telling my family, hey, I'm going to figure this out one day. I'm going to figure this out one day. I've probably said that 10,000 times over the course of my trading journey. And I know they just look at me, you know, and they're like, sure, okay, yeah. So I really got into the point. I don't really discuss my trading with people anymore. You got to pop out and show people, right? They're not going to believe what you can do until you actually show them that you're already doing what you said you can do. And that's what I'm doing. And so I was just coming back on here. I'm going to try to continue to upload more videos here and show you all that it's possible. It's possible, okay? I'm not someone who has a lot of money. I'm someone who got into trading because I tried to make an investment in the stock market with about $10,000, you know, about 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago. And I got in, I put that $10,000 into options trading. I took it to $21,000 within a few weeks. And then a few weeks after that, I blew the entire account. So I lost $21,000 in a few weeks, you know, trying to figure out how to properly trade, okay? And so I'm trying to get back there to where I really, really understand what I'm doing. And I am able to make all that money once again. And I feel like I'm closer to that. I think that I've proven myself worthy to trade more contracts, but I don't have the money to trade more contracts. So I'm just happy trading what I have. So definitely, if you're a trader, keep trading. Keep absorbing the knowledge. One day it's going to click for you. And it definitely has for me. So I'm happy to say that I feel like I'm finally a profitable trader. Okay, so just this year alone, I finally pulled in at least about maybe $400. It's March 4th, 2025. I know that may not seem like a lot of money to a lot of people, but to me it is. For somebody who's only able to trade maybe $80 to $100 in a trade, you know, that's a lot of money to me. That means I'm making super big progress. Because last year I lost $150 the entire year. Okay, and already, you know, we're on month number 3. I'm already up about $400, you know, in profit. So I've taken that. I've been able to do things I needed to do that I didn't have the money to do. And I'm grateful. I'm thankful. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. I hope that this video has been helpful to you all. And I'll try to, you know, post live trade recordings to my channel, because I don't know how to live stream. I could figure it out, but, you know, how my days are set up, it probably wouldn't work anyways. And, you know, lots going on in my household, so that probably wouldn't work out too well. But I'll get into the habit of uploading my trades that I make, you know, over the course of the week, and show you how it is possible. Anybody can do it if that's what you want to do. All right, I'll talk to you all later.